In the small town of Vestmannaeyjar, known for its rugged beauty and close-knit community. From an early age, she exhibited a vivacious spirit and a profound love for the natural world surrounding her. Her family, deeply rooted in Icelandic traditions, instilled in her a sense of resilience and independence, traits that would define her short life. As Berna grew, so did her aspirations. She moved to Reykjavik to pursue her studies, drawn to the vibrant culture and opportunities the capital city offered. Her nights often filled with laughter and camaraderie. She found joy in the simple pleasures of life, savoring every moment with friends amidst the ethereal glow of the northern lights. The events of that fateful January morning, however, would cast a long shadow over the city and beyond. Berna's last known journey through the snow-draped streets of Reykjavik was a path she had walked many times before, but this time it would lead to a mystery that would captivate the nation. As the Red Kia Rio became the focal point of the investigation, forensic experts meticulously pieced together the narrative hidden in its tire tracks and the faint whispers of evidence left behind. The vehicle, rented by a foreign national, drew attention to the complexities of modern travel and the unforeseen connections that can arise in an increasingly globalized world. The search for Berna became a collective endeavor, uniting the people of Iceland in an unprecedented show of solidarity. The nation's heart beat as one with the rhythm of the search crew's footsteps, traversing icy landscapes in a desperate bid to bring her home. This shared mission highlighted the profound interconnectedness of the Icelandic community, where the loss of one is felt by all. As the investigation unfolded, it transcended the boundaries of a simple criminal case, evolving into a reflection on societal values and the fragility of perceived safety. The trial that ensued was not merely about justice for Berna, but a poignant reminder of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. In the end, the story of Berna Breonstader is a testament to the enduring impact of a single life. It is a narrative that underscores the delicate balance between the serenity of Iceland's landscapes and the harsh realities that sometimes intrude. From the depths of tragedy emerged a renewed understanding of community, a collective vow to cherish and protect one another, and the enduring hope that even in darkness, light can be found. The tight-knit community of Reykjavik was shaken. The small city, where everyone seemed to know everyone else, was gripped by a collective anxiety. In a place where trust and safety were woven into the social fabric, the idea that a vibrant young woman could simply vanish was almost unthinkable. Berna, with her radiant smile and infectious laugh, was a familiar face to many. Her absence left a palpable void. Friends and family were joined by strangers in a shared mission to find her. Vigils were held, candles flickered in the cold Icelandic night, and posters bearing Berna's image were plastered across the city. The community's response was swift and heartfelt, a testament to the close bonds that define Icelandic society. The police, recognizing the gravity of the situation, launched a comprehensive investigation. Every piece of surveillance footage was scrutinized, every lead pursued with determination. The streets of Reykjavik, usually bustling with the sounds of life, were now punctuated by the whispers of a community in search of answers. The case captured the nation's attention, dominating headlines and sparking conversations in Ho. As investigators delved deeper into the events of that fateful night, they pieced together a timeline of Berna's last known movements. The footage of her walking up Lagavagur, Reykjavik's main artery, was haunting in its simplicity. She appeared calm, unaware of the storm that would soon engulf her world. The image of her walking alone in the pre-dawn darkness became a symbol of the mystery that enveloped her disappearance. In a country where the police force is more accustomed to dealing with traffic incidents than violent crimes, the investigation was a daunting task. Yet the officers were undeterred, driven by a shared resolve to bring Berna home. They collaborated with international agencies, drawing on expertise and resources that transcended borders. The search extended beyond Reykjavik, reaching into the surrounding countryside, where the rugged beauty of Iceland's landscape concealed its own secrets. As days turned into weeks, hope mingled with fear. The community's determination was unwavering, but the lack of concrete answers was a heavy burden. The question on everyone's lips was the same: what had happened to Berna? Theories abounded, each more troubling than the last. But none provided the closure that her loved ones so desperately sought. Despite the uncertainty, Berna's spirit remained a guiding light for those who knew her. Her warmth, independence, and unwavering sense of responsibility were remembered and celebrated. She was more than a missing person. She was a daughter, a friend, a colleague. Her story resonated far beyond the borders of Iceland, touching hearts around the world. In a society where harmony and safety are cherished, Berna's disappearance was a stark reminder of the fragility of life. It challenged the perception of Iceland as an idyllic refuge from the world's chaos. Yet, it also underscored the strength and resilience of a community united by compassion and hope. As the search for Berna continued, the people of Reykjavik held fast to their belief in justice and truth. In the face of uncertainty, they found solace in each other, drawing strength from the bonds that connected them. Berna's story, though marked by tragedy, became a testament to the enduring power of human connection in the face of adversity. In the quiet land of Iceland, a nation unaccustomed to the shadows of tragedy, an unprecedented search unfolded with a fervor that transcended the ordinary. It was a search that not only spanned the vast and rugged landscapes of this island nation, but also penetrated the collective consciousness of its people. Thousands of individuals, friends, neighbors, and complete strangers rallied together, united by a single photograph that captured the vibrant essence of a young woman named Berna. Berna's life, once filled with the routine of daily responsibilities and the vibrant moments shared with loved ones, became the epicenter of an extraordinary operation, the largest search effort in Iceland's history. The magnitude of this endeavor was a reflection of the profound impact her absence had on a society unaccustomed to such disappearances. Known for her reliability and her unwavering connection with those she cared for, Berna's sudden disappearance was a jarring anomaly. She had left her workplace on a typical Friday evening, ventured into the lively heart of downtown Reykjavik with her friends, and then vanished without a trace. The Icelandic police, recognizing the gravity of the situation, acted with swift urgency. They appealed to the public for assistance, disseminating information about Berna's last known activities and the locations she had frequented that fateful evening. From the earliest hours of the investigation, law enforcement utilized an array of tools and technologies to piece together Berna's movements. Surveillance cameras throughout Reykjavik were scrutinized, capturing glimpses of her presence, while the signal from her mobile phone was traced to Hofnir Fjordur, a town just beyond the southern reaches of the capital. The abrupt cessation of her phone signal, manually switched off rather than left to drain of power, suggested a deliberate act rather than an accidental loss of connection. The response was both immediate and immense. Over 700 volunteers, alongside Coast Guard units, search and rescue dogs, drones, and police, scoured the challenging Icelandic terrain. Snow-laden fields, Craggy shoreline paths, dense wooded areas, and rugged coastal rocks were meticulously combed over as the search spanned more than 7,000 kilometers, over 4,000 miles, of shoreline and roads. This Herculean effort underscored not only the seriousness of Berna's disappearance, but also the deep concern felt by a nation that regarded her as one of their own. As the search intensified, investigators released crucial details to the public in hopes of narrowing the focus. Security footage revealed a red Kia Rio, a vehicle intricately woven into the timeline of Berna's last known whereabouts. This car, seen near the location where Berna was last captured on camera, became a critical piece in the puzzle. Nationwide, images of the vehicle were distributed, and authorities implored anyone with information to step forward. The discovery of Berna's shoes near Hafnarfjordur, close to where her phone signal had last been detected, further deepened the mystery, suggesting she had not simply wandered home as initially thought. In the initial days of this investigation, tension mounted with the arrest of 2 crew members from the Greenlandic trawler Polar Nanok. Though they initially denied any wrongdoing, their connection to the case was undeniable. As authorities confirmed, they were suspected of being involved in an egregious act. This revelation cast a shadow over the search, adding a layer of complexity to an already intricate narrative. As the days unfolded, this search became more than a quest to find a missing person. It evolved into a profound reflection on community, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of a nation united in adversity. In the vast, silent landscapes of Iceland, the search for Berna became a testament to the enduring human spirit, a reminder that even in the face of uncertainty, hope can illuminate the darkest of paths. The mysterious disappearance of Berna Breonstader had gripped the nation of Iceland, casting a long shadow over the country's serene winter landscape. From her last known location on a quiet street in central Reykjavik, Berna's journey seemed to take an unexpected and troubling turn toward the harbor, a path that hinted at something far more sinister than a mere case of a missing person. As the days stretched into nights, the search for Berna became a haunting refrain in the hearts of her family and the wider community. The air was thick with anxiety, each tick of the clock amplifying the dread that Berna might not be found alive. Icelandic media outlets dedicated themselves to the task of updating the public, yet with each passing bulletin, hope seemed to wane. The lack of sightings or contact painted a grim picture, one that suggested an ominous fate rather than a hopeful reunion. Desperation and determination intertwined as the search expanded beyond Reykjavik's borders, reaching into the rugged expanses of the Icelandic countryside and coastline. It was a test not only of procedural rigor, but also of communal spirit and resilience. The relentless search spanned 8 painstaking days, each one more fraught with tension than the last. Then, on the morning of January 22, 2017, a pivotal moment arrived. A Coast Guard helicopter, during a routine patrol, spotted a lone figure near the Selvogs VD lighthouse on the Reykjanes Peninsula, approximately 30 kilometers southeast of Reykjavik. This remote and inhospitable stretch of coast, seldom traversed during winter, had become the unwelcome stage for a tragic discovery. Ground teams were dispatched with urgency, battling the harsh elements to reach the location. Upon arrival, they confirmed the collective fear. The body was indeed that of Berna Breonstader. Thierson's case to a homicide investigation was marked by a somber shift in tone. The site was meticulously secured as a crime scene, with investigators painstakingly documenting every detail, cognizant of the importance of every piece of evidence in unraveling the truth behind Berna's demise. Berna's body, found partially submerged, presented investigators with clues that would prove vital in the subsequent forensic analysis. The cold embrace of the sea had added layers of complexity to the investigation, challenging the forensic pathologists tasked with uncovering the cause and circumstances of her death. Later that day, the Icelandic police made the formal announcement of Berna's death, a confirmation that sent shockwaves of grief and disbelief through the nation. The news rippled across media platforms, interrupting regular broadcasts and flooding social media with an outpouring of sorrow and support for Berna's family. In a country where the ties of community run deep, this loss felt intensely perselective consciousness of Iceland. The nation mourned not just the loss of a young life, but the shattering of a sense of safety and innocence that had long characterized its peaceful shores. Yet, amidst the sorrow, there emerged a renewed resolve. The tragedy of Berna's fate kindled a determination within the community and its protectors to seek justice, to ensure that such a harrowing chapter would not repeat. In the quiet aftermath of grief, the legacy of Berna Breonstader's story became a solemn reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring strength of human connection in the face of profound loss. In the somber quiet of the forensic lab, beneath the clinical glare of fluorescent lights, the truth about Berna Breon's daughter's fate was meticulously unraveled. The medical examiners, with their practiced precision, revealed that she had succumbed to the depths, her lungs filled with water in a tragic dance with the sea. Yet this was not her only story. Her body bore the unmistakable signs of a violent encounter, a grim testament to the brutality she had faced before her final moments. These revelations painted a narrative of deliberate malice, steering the investigation from the murky waters of accident to the steely shores of homicide. The forensic findings became the cornerstone of a case that was rapidly gaining complexity. Investigators, armed with this new understanding, revisited the evidence amassed thus far: the flickering eye of surveillance cameras, the silent whispers of phone records, and the tangible clues left in the wake of her disappearance. Each piece of evidence served to tighten the timeline, bringing clarity to the chaos of her last hours. As the case gained momentum, the authorities maintained a shroud of secrecy around certain details. This veil was not one of obscurity, but of necessity, a measured strategy to preserve the integrity of their pursuit for justice. Yet they did acknowledge the chilling reality. The evidence strongly indicated that Berna had fallen victim to a heinous crime. The news reverberated throughout Iceland, a nation unaccustomed to such violence. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, communities across the land gathered in solemn vigil. In Reykjavik, candles flickered in the cold wind, their light a poignant symbol of hope and remembrance. Flags fluttered at half-mast, a silent salute to a life cut tragically short. The collective grief was palpable, a shared sorrow that transcended the loss of one young woman to encompass a deeper, more pervasive sense of vulnerability. The discovery of her body, far from offering closure, signaled the onset of a new chapter in this tragic tale. It was a chapter defined by a relentless quest for truth, for accountability, and ultimately, for justice. Investigators honed in on the early hours of January 14th, a time shrouded in mystery, yet critical to understanding her fate. Their scrutiny fell upon a brief hiatus in her journey, a moment when her steps ceased on the streets of Reykjavik. Surveillance footage, an unblinking witness, suggested an abrupt departure from her path, a possible entry into a vehicle. Among the many vehicles that crisscrossed the city that night, one stood out, a red Kia Rio. This car, a seemingly innocuous rental, appeared with unsettling frequency at key locations tied to Berna's final movements. The trail led investigators to the docks, to the fishing vessel Polar Nanook, which lay moored in the harbor's embrace. The Kia had been rented by crew members of this vessel, its movements now intricately linked to the unfolding mystery. Though the footage could not penetrate the car's interior, its presence was a puzzle piece too significant to ignore. As the investigation delved deeper, the case of Berna Breonstader became a tapestry woven with strands of empathy, determination, and an unyielding pursuit of truth. It was a narrative that underscored the fragility of life and the enduring human spirit's quest for justice. In the quiet aftermath, the nation stood united, a testament to the resilience of a community bound by shared loss and the unyielding hope for resolution. Case, the narrative of Berna Breon's final hours began to take shape with unsettling clarity. As the investigation unfolded, the city of Reykjavik found itself at the heart of a chilling tale that intertwined maritime tradition with a heinous crime. The Polar Nanook, a vessel familiar to the Icelandic ports, had become a silent witness to events that would unravel the mysteries surrounding Berna's mingling with locals and travelers in the vibrant nightlife of Reykjavik. On that fateful night, the confluence of these worlds proved fatal for Berna. As the forensic team meticulously examined the rental car, the gravity of what had transpired came to light. Bloodstains, unmistakably matched to Berna Breonstader, revealed a struggle, a desperate fight for survival within the confines of the vehicle. The evidence was irrefutable, painting a grim picture of violence and fear. It was not merely the presence of blood that spoke volumes, but its pattern and spread, narrating a story of time spent, of injuries sustained, and of a life brutally interrupted. Further investigation led authorities to the harbor, a place bustling with the echoes of maritime life. There, amidst the labyrinth of docks and vessels, lay Berna's shoes, poignant remnants of her presence, silently corroborating the theory that she had been forcibly taken from the heart of the city to this secluded maritime enclave. The arrest of the two crew members marked a pivotal moment in the case. Their connection to the Polar Nanook and their activities on the night in question were painstakingly pieced together through surveillance footage, forensic analysis, and digital footprints. The narrative that emerged was one of calculated movements and sinister intentions, with Thomas Mellor Olsen at its core. Olsen's involvement was not merely circumstantial. The trail of DNA evidence, fingerprints, and other forensic markers formed a web that ensnared him as the primary suspect. His presence in the car and at significant locations, aligned with the timeline of Berna's disappearance, sealed his fate in the eyes of the law. The discovery of illegal narcotics aboard the Polar Nanook added another layer of intrigue and complexity to the proceedings. While separate from the murder investigation, it compounded the legal troubles facing the vessel's crew and ensured that the eyes of the law remained fixed upon them. As the case against Olsen solidified, the haunting details of Berna Breon's last moments became a somber reflection on the fragility of life and the dark undercurrents that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary events. The investigation's revelations served as a stark reminder of the shadows that can pervade human interactions, casting a long and somber shadow over the bustling life of Reykjavik and its maritime visitors. In the labyrinthine corridors of justice, the Red Chiario emerged as a pivotal artifact, a silent sentinel in the unfolding drama of Berna's disappearance. Its crimson shell bore witness not only to the last known moments of Berna in Reykjavik, but also to the intricate web of actions that ensued. Within its confines, the unyielding precision of forensic science spoke volumes, where human testimonies faltered, unable to bridge the chasm of uncertainty. This vehicle, intertwined with the polar Nanook, a Greenlandic fishing vessel, became the axis upon which the investigation pivoted. What commenced as a sprawling nationwide search for Berna had been distilled into a meticulous effort to assign culpability, anchored by tangible evidence rather than the ephemeral nature of circumstantial conjecture. This corpus of evidence would become the cornerstone of the prosecution's strategy as the case advanced to trial. By the third week of January in the year 2017, the focus of Icelandic law enforcement had undergone a remarkable transformation. The once expansive search had crystallized into a laser-focused criminal probe, a mosaic of surveillance footage, forensic discoveries, and precise location data had narrowed the scope of inquiry to a select few individuals intricately linked to the Red Kiareo and the Polar Nanook. The meticulous review of CCTV footage from Reykjavik and its environs, coupled with the analysis of mobile phone data and the scrutiny of physical evidence, painted a vivid tableau. This compilation of facts aligned the suspects' trajectories with Berna's final known movements, encapsulating both within a temporal and geographical corridor. Held in custody, the suspects found themselves ensnared in a legal web, as Icelandic law demanded periodic justification for their continued detention. Judges, presented with the mounting evidence and the gravity of the alleged crime, sanctioned these extensions. As the investigation unfurled, the spotlight increasingly illuminated Thomas Miller Olsen. Utilizing a confluence of phone records and surveillance data, law enforcement meticulously reconstructed his movements post-Berna's disappearance. These records, cross-referenced with camera timestamps and vehicle tracking data, forged a coherent timeline, one that could withstand the scrutiny of judicial examination. DNA analysis provided an incontrovertible link, binding Berna to the Red Kiareo's interior. Further scrutiny identified Thomas Miller Olsen's genetic traces on personal items belonging to Berna, including her bootlaces, and his fingerprints graced her driving license. These revelations were later unveiled in the courtroom, serving as compelling testimony of direct interaction between the suspect and the victim. Meanwhile, the investigation also cast its net over Nikolai Jakobsen Olsen, the second crew member detained. His involvement was scrutinized under the investigative lens, probing whether he had participated in critical moments of the crime or had offered any form of assistance. Yet, as the inquiry progressed, authorities discerned a lack of substantial evidence to implicate him further. This case, a tapestry woven from threads of science, technology, and human endeavor, underscored the relentless pursuit of truth. It highlighted the intricate dance between evidence and justice, where each piece of data, each forensic discovery, contributed to the gradual unveiling of a narrative. In the end, the journey of uncovering the truth became a testament to the enduring quest for justice, a reflection of society's commitment to unveiling the mysteries that lie at the heart of human experience. A case that sought to untangle a harrowing sequence of events. The prosecution's narrative painted a chilling picture of the hours leading to Berna Breon's tragic end. As the trial unfolded, the courtroom became a theater of meticulous examination, where every piece of evidence was scrutinized with unwavering precision. The Red Kiareo, a seemingly innocuous vehicle, emerged as a silent witness to the crime. Forensic analysts had meticulously combed through its interior, uncovering traces of Berna's presence. Her DNA, discovered on the laces of her boots, suggested a struggle, a moment of resistance perhaps, in the confines of that car. Olsen's fingerprints on her driving license added another layer of damning evidence, weaving a narrative of proximity and possible confrontation. Beyond the tangible evidence, the prosecution leaned heavily on the digital footprint left behind by modern technology. Mobile phone records provided a virtual map of Olsen's movements, tracing his path through the night. Surveillance footage captured fleeting glimpses of his journey, piecing together fragments of time into a coherent timeline. These digital breadcrumbs, though silent, spoke volumes, corroborating the physical evidence and reinforcing the prosecution's assertions. As the trial progressed, the defense faced the formidable task of dismantling this intricate tapestry. Questions were raised about the integrity of the evidence, the possibility of contamination, and the reliability of the digital data. The defense sought to cast doubt on the prosecution's narrative, suggesting alternative scenarios that might explain the evidence without implicating Olsen in the crime. Witnesses were called to the stand, each offering their perspective, their memories of that fateful night. Some testimonies supported the prosecution's claims, while others introduced ambiguity, leaving room for interpretation. The courtroom echoed with the weight of their words, each statement adding to the complex mosaic of truth and uncertainty. Outside the confines of the courtroom, the public watched with bated breath. Berna's disappearance had not only shaken her family, but had also reverberated throughout Iceland, a nation unaccustomed to such grim tales. Her story had become a collective narrative, a shared tragedy that demanded resolution. As the trial neared its conclusion, the jury faced the daunting task of sifting through the evidence, weighing the facts against the shadows of doubt. The verdict would not only determine Olsen's fate, but would also offer a semblance of closure to a grieving community. Yet, in the quiet moments before the decision, the trial served as a stark reminder of the fragile boundary between innocence and guilt, truth and perception. In the end, the court's ruling would stand as a testament to the pursuit of justice, a reflection of society's unwavering commitment to truth. Regardless of the outcome, the trial underscored a fundamental truth, that in the face of tragedy, humanity's quest for understanding is relentless, driven by the hope that through clarity, healing might begin. In the haunting shadows of central Reykjavik, a narrative unfolded that would captivate the nation and send ripples through its legal system. At the heart of this narrative stood Thomas Miller Olsen, a man whose life intersected with tragedy on a fateful night when Berna, a young woman, vanished after leaving a nightclub. The prosecution painted a vivid picture, alleging that Olsen's encounter with Berna shortly after her departure from the club ended in her untimely death. Throughout the trial, Olsen vehemently denied any involvement in Berna's murder. His defense rested on the assertion of innocence, acknowledging only that he had given Berna a ride, an admission he made during initial interrogations and reiterated in court. Yet, he consistently rejected the notion that he was responsible for her death, offering alternative narratives to explain the events of that night. The courtroom became a battleground of interpretations, with prosecutors and defense attorneys clashing over the timeline and the forensic evidence that would either convict or exonerate him. The complexity of Olsen's legal troubles extended beyond the murder charge. He faced a separate indictment for drug smuggling, a case that arose from the discovery of over 20 kilograms of pressed hashish aboard the Polar Nanook, a fishing vessel where Olsen served as a crew member. Prosecutors argued that these charges were not isolated instances, but indicative of a broader pattern of criminal behavior, reflecting Olsen's decision-making during the crucial period in question. The Reykjavik District Court, after meticulously examining testimonies and evidence, delivered its verdict in September 2017. The court found Olsen guilty of first-degree murder for his involvement in Berna's death and also convicted him of drug trafficking. The sentence was severe by Icelandic standards, imposing 19 years of incarceration, a substantial term in a legal system where life sentences, though permissible, are infrequently applied. In addition to his prison sentence, the court mandated Olsen to pay significant compensation and legal costs, amounting to approximately 29 million Icelandic krona. A portion of this sum was allocated as reparation to Berna's grieving family, a gesture acknowledging the profound loss they had endured. However, the wheels of justice continued to turn. Olsen, steadfast in his belief of wrongful conviction, exercised his right to appeal the district court's decision, propelling the case to Iceland's High Court. This appellate process involved a thorough reevaluation of the trial's proceedings, scrutinizing both the factual findings and the legal interpretations that had led to his conviction. In November 2018, the High Court upheld the lower court's verdict, affirming both the murder conviction and the drug trafficking sentence. The judges concluded that the evidence presented was compelling, meeting the stringent standard of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. This decision underscored the robustness of the original judgment and reinforced the finality of the case within Iceland's judicial framework. Undeterred, Olsen's legal team sought recourse in Iceland's Supreme Court, the ultimate arbiter of justice in the nation. Yet, in early 2019, this request for further appeal was declined, closing the chapter on a legal saga that had gripped the public's attention. As the dust settled, the case of Thomas Miller Olsen stood as a stark reminder of the complexities of justice, where the pursuit of truth is often fraught with challenges, and the reverberations of a single night echo through the corridors of law and memory. In the annals of Iceland's judiciary history, few cases have gripped the nation as profoundly as the trial of Thomas Miller Olsen. The High Court's ruling reverberated across the island, not only for the somber narrative it unfolded, but also for the scrutiny it placed on the nation's investigative prowess and judicial integrity. This case, a tragic tale etched in the collective memory, was a litmus test for Iceland's legal framework, challenging its capacity to deliver justice in the face of harrowing crimes. The conviction and subsequent sentencing provided a semblance of closure within the confines of Icelandic law. Yet for the public, the ramifications extended far beyond the courtroom, casting long shadows on the perceived sanctity of community safety and trust. The murder of Berna, a young woman whose life was abruptly extinguished, sent ripples of shock and sorrow through Icelandic society, a society that once held an unyielding belief in its own security. Vigils in her memory illuminated the night skies of Iceland and Greenland as thousands of mourners marched in solemn remembrance, Illity, a stark reminder that violence could indeed reach their shores. Her funeral was a poignant gathering, drawing throngs of individuals, including national leaders, who stood united in grief and resolve. In the wake of this tragedy, dialogues on women's safety, communal responsibility, and the vulnerabilities inherent in modern life gained urgency and volume. The discourse was no longer confined to private conversations, but echoed in public forums, a testament to a society grappling with the fragility of its own peace. This case, while a chapter in legal history, serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between safety and reality in the world we navigate.